Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Dance Floor. I'm your host, Ty Nelson. Today, we are joined by Alphonse Shine, a lovely individual who's a part of the Untitled Dance Show Party Thing here on The Valiant Lady. Most recently, we got to speak to Joey, and now we are speaking to another cohort on that same cast. This is Alphonse, someone I've worked with before, a beautifully bright individual, especially in like spirit and kindness, a firecracker on the dance floor, and just a lovely all-around human. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. That was so sweet.
Yeah, and I mean it. So if you would, tell everybody who you are from your own perspective.
Hi, I'm Alphonse. Who I am from my perspective is a little country boy from a small town in Louisiana that loves horror movies and Pokemon and dancing. I really love dancing.
Horror. I just want to really...
Horror, yes.
Horror.
H-O-R-R-O-R.
Y'all probably knew that, but I was just making
Scary movies, particularly paranormal, but I do like slasher every now and then.
What's your like go-to scary movie? I'm sure you have a plethora of them. But...
Yeah, I actually am a big Nightmare on Elm Street guy because I grew up on Elm Street.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My childhood home, 927 Elm Street. I won't tell y'all the city.
I could probably Google it, but you know what? You would do it.
You would be surprised how many 927 Elm Streets there are.
Oh, you've done it.
I have.
You've done the research. Never mind.
No, I haven't. But you know how like when you're ordering things and you go to put in your address and like all of the addresses show up, and I'm like, why are there so many?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Don't try to triangulate and figure out where Alphonse lives, okay?
Oh, also, we don't live there anymore. We moved to Texas, so...
You'll never know. Always on the move. If you could describe your style of dance in, like, one sentence, what would it be?
My style of dance. What's weird is I feel like I know how other people would describe my style of dance.
Okay.
And they would just say full out.
I can agree. Yep. Totally agree after today. Absolutely. Also seeing you dance, but oh my gosh. Yeah. We'll get more into what we did today on the dance later, but yeah, full out is a good representation.
I would say for myself, passionate, only because I feel like a lot of the time when I'm dancing, I forget everything else. And I feel like that kind of just like goes into my body.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that I'm thinking about at the time is, like, the dance and the music and the step.
Fair enough. Full out Alphonse. And that is a true statement. Talk about your background, maybe what you've done through schooling, what you've done as far as, like, places you've went to learn. What is your background within dance and within the arts?
My background... It's funny because I didn't start dancing until I was 15. But I've been performing my entire life. Like, at my church, we had a puppet and clowning ministry where we did puppet shows and clown skits. And we would go around. We would go to, like, nursing homes. We would do them at schools. We would do them for Sunday services sometimes. And I feel like that... I mean, more so the clown skits than the puppet shows, because the puppet show, we're hidden behind a curtain and we're like... Right. But the clown skits, you know, you're out and you're being wacky and you're telling stories and all those things. And I've been doing that since I was like in 3rd grade.
Okay.
But it's funny that because I just don't do it anymore, and I hate that I don't do it anymore. My background in dance is actually clogging.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was on 2 at my studio. We have 2 competition clogging teams called... Y'all remember when I said I'm from Louisiana? They're called the Bayou Babes and the Dixie Darlings.
Of course. As they should be.
And my junior year of high school, I was a babe, even though they were like, you know, it's Louisiana, it's the South. You can't call men babes.
Right,
so they were like, we're going to call you our Bayou Bubba.
Okay.
I hated it.
Bayou Bubba.
Bayou Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba's a go-to for men in the South.
In the South, oh yeah. Bubba. And then the competition team I was on my senior year was called the Dixie Darlings, and they were like, we can't come up with anything, and they tried Dixie Dude, and I was like, no, just let me
be a darling.
Let me be a darling.
Wow. Trying to steal your shine.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah.
Dixie Darling.
But Started out, I mean, we did tap, we did ballet, we did jazz at my studio. Technique for like the ballet and jazz classes weren't really as up to par as tap and clogging, where like you could definitely tell that that was the focus at my studio. So that was what my strong suit was for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then I went to college to the Northwestern State University of Louisiana, Fork 'em Demons.
Yeah.
And I graduated with a BFA in dance from there, and that's where I like really trained and my more ballet, modern, contemporary jazz technique, and kind of like honed in on that, which I should probably get back into because the brother's getting stiff.
Real? I can't tell. Doing things like putting the leg up behind your head.
Who's doing that?
You. Whenever you were working on your heels piece today. Exactly. Literally did it today. Forgot that he did it. That's all right. That's all right. Coming soon to Alphonse's feed. Look for him putting his leg behind his head. just a clean cut. Hold up real quick. Are you hot? Because I'm hot. And it's probably because of the shit I'm wearing.
I think it's because you're wearing, but I'm also temperate. You can turn it down.
I've never had to turn this on, but I'm about to. Okay.
We just swap outfits.
But then you're going to be hot.
Actually, I don't know. Because I'm actually, like, a colder person. My resting body temperature is 97.8. Like, anytime I get my temperature checked, 97.8 is where, like, I'm at. And it's still healthy. It's just lower.
Mine's 106. I'm kidding. I would be dead if that was the case.
Face that I made.
Yep. So we talked a little bit about like what you would do in church, and then also the dance teams. Did you ever do like college or anything like that?
We had 2 dance teams at my college. The Purple Pizzazz Palm Line, which didn't allow men. And then we had the Demon Dazzlers, which was really funny because I went from being a Dixie Darling to a Demon Dazzler. And I just couldn't get away from the double Ds.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm a gay man.
Just so you know. Wow, they really love their alliteration and a little bit of homophobia down in the South, don't they? Wow. Okay, we won't call you a darling, but anyway. You know how some people get like a BFA or whatnot. Did you do that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, did you already say that? Mm-hmm. Damn. The heat is getting to my brain as well. I'm just going to, yeah. What within dance inspired you to really pursue it? Like, what got you to this moment is a really good question.
I feel like it's going to be bad to say because I don't know how to word it properly, but I feel like I didn't really have an inspiration in dance. I fell in love with it so much that I was like, this is what I want to do. And I do find myself being inspired by audience enjoyment. I love performing for people and being able to see people enjoy a show. And like sometimes I don't even have to be in the show. I won't lie. I went and saw the Misbehave show last voyage, and to see how into it the crowd was, it like low-key made me emotional as these people were like screaming about the last time they had sex.
Right.
But they were so into it and they were having such a good time, and it was just like, I love shows that invite audience members to enjoy themselves, and I love like being a part of things like that. I enjoy being on stage and recognizing that somebody is really having a good time being at the show, or like watching me dance or watching the people that I'm dancing with. That for me is what inspires me. And I think that's another thing, just like for multiple shows at a time, you know, like sometimes we get tired and it's like, it's a new audience every time, and there's going to be somebody that's never seen the show. And that right there is what's going to get me through. Yeah. Because there might be 13 people in the room, and 12 of them have already seen the show, and one of them hasn't. For that one person, it's going to be a brand new experience. For all of them, it's going to be a new experience. They might watch somebody different. They might enjoy something different. But for that one person, it's going to be brand new. That's true. Stuff like that really just like gets me, you know.
Would you say it's about like invoking emotion out of people, or more specifically like the joy of performing?
The joy of performing, but then the joy in people. I wouldn't necessarily say emotion. I guess it could be because, You know, there are some things that we do that aren't as upbeat, that
Right.
do have a little bit of a heavier undertone to the dancing that we're doing, and that does touch people in different ways. But I guess in a manner of like, we all know the world is a scary, scary place right now. And like, for 45 minutes, we can be a part of letting people escape from that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's always a beautiful part about arts.
I love being a part of that. And then
Yeah.
it's like, not only are these people getting to escape, but it's like, somebody might be going through the most stressful time of their lives.
Right.
And sometimes you never could tell what people have going on just because of how excited and how much they're enjoying, like, where they're at when they come to these shows or just shows in general. So I guess, yeah, invoking an emotion, but it's mainly about joy.
Yeah.
It's mainly about, like, enjoyment. Yeah.
I feel like that's what translates within your own personality, like why you are so joyous and so kind is what you kind of thrive off of within your performance as well. So I think that comes naturally to you, because even when Alphonse does very silly things in Untitled where he cries as loud as he can, which is very comical, there's still like a place of joy to it. Like, it's very silly, you know. It's almost it's kind of like what your background within the clowning, you know? I think that really reigns true with it. You said that you didn't really start dancing until a little later, but you've always been performing. What do you think is a good way to start? Like, whether it be in dance or in art in any way, what would you say for someone that's like, hey, I think I want to try to start, you know, doing what I love? What would be something that you would give them as far as like a bit of advice?
Just knowing that if you have friends in the entertainment industry, you probably hear a lot of great things. You probably hear a lot of bad things. And like, in all honesty, there are sometimes people who aren't the most supportive and aren't most welcoming.
Yeah.
But knowing that there are going to be an overwhelming amount of people who support you in whatever journey it is that you decide to take.
Yeah.
It seems scary and it seems daunting and it seems like, oh, because it's your journey, it's yours alone. But just like in life, like, your dance journey is never going to be just you. It's going to be you and the 3 people you send a video of you dancing to, and they're giving you feedback. It's going to be you and yourself in the mirror, and like, sometimes your reflection is a different person.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be you and the 20 people that are in a class that you're taking, helping each other, hyping each other up. It's going to be you and the teacher, you know. It's never just going to be you alone, and just know that there is going to be support.
That's a really good answer. That was good, yeah. It's about the collective in a
Yeah.
way. Like, just start, because there's always going to be people that are in the same mindset as you. Great answer. Come on now. What is some of the best advice that you've been given? It doesn't necessarily have to be in the arts, but just advice that you've been given maybe by mentors, maybe things from people that have been in your life. It could be family members. But is there something that you would like to give out other than what you've just said, which was amazing, or share what someone's told you that's really stuck with you?
There's something that I live by now. And I feel like I've always lived by it. I just didn't necessarily recognize that I did. And hearing it be put into words, I've since then been like, you know, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What's funny about it is that it started out as a joke by one of my best friends. I could go on and on and on and on and on about how I love this girl so much. We call each other husband and wife. Like, I hold so much space in my heart. Rose Margaret Myers.
Shout
I
out.
love you. But no, hold so much space in my heart for this girl. We talk frequently. We keep up with each other. We lift each other up. We pray with each other. You know, all the things that you need in a friend. She is that, and I try to be for her, like, adore her. But she started saying, like, embarrassment's a choice. And I was like, you know what? Actually, you're right. And for the past, like, 4 years of my life, I've really been like, embarrassment is a choice. And I say that to people now. We'll be in the workspace and people will do something and they're like, now I'm embarrassed. And I'm like, embarrassment's a choice. The only person that's worried about it is you. Only person that's worried about it is you. And I think there is a fine line between embarrassment and shame. And there are things that you should be ashamed of.
Yeah.
But there are things that you might be embarrassed about that aren't that big of a deal. You know, public indecency, that's shameful.
Yeah.
You know, tripping in the parking lot, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
You don't need to be embarrassed. You know, like,
Yeah.
things like that. That's not something you tripping in the parking lot is not something that should be keeping you up at 4 a.m.
Right.
5
Or,
years later.
you know, the conversations you have with yourself in the shower, you're like, I wish I would have said this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be up in the mirror, all right? I'd be up in the mirror. When I tell you that reflection becomes another person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, but you decided you wanted to come at me. Look, I'd be having conversations. Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of truth in that because embarrassment is from the self a lot, you know? It's like we overthink what other people see or think about us, and some of the most success I've found is when I don't care.
Yeah.
Little bit of a story. My actual I don't think I've ever said this in any form. My driver's license exam, I failed 3 times, not because of the physical exam. Like I could drive the car, but I have test anxiety. And so I would go and I would study and study hard, and it just didn't matter every time I'd like miss, cuz I don't know if it's the same everywhere you go, but like if you can skip questions at the DMV, were you able to do that? You're like, actually, I don't have a license.
I use my passport I'm just kidding.
Right.
Yeah, they it was like answer as many questions as you could, but like try to finish the test. So then it was like you skip questions, and then if you had time, you go back because it was a timed test.
Yeah, so that would happen with me, and I would like still get too many wrong, right? Even after skipping some and trying to come back. And that happened 3 times, and like on the 4th time, I was with my mom, and we were just driving by the DMV, and I was like, oh, I'm so sick of this. And she says, we didn't even plan it. She was like, sweetheart, do you want to just like go? And I was like, yeah, whatever, let's just go. And me not caring, I got 100.
Yeah.
And it's like that same feeling of like the embarrassment and the stress you put on yourselves. Sometimes the most success you find is when you just don't care. And there's things you can care about, like details and being thoughtful and being mindful. Again, it kind of rides that line of shame versus embarrassment. But knowing what is important and what isn't is very valuable information for yourself, because you can just like live a lot easier, less stress life if you're just enjoying the process of, you know, the embarrassment. Because also there's a lot in that too. I think it's nice sometimes to feel embarrassed and feel silly, because you're like, this is silly. Like, what am I stressed over? Because there's always going to be more things we can stress over, you know?
And that's another thing. It's like embarrassment, like you said, is most of the time self-inflicted. And it's like, one thing that I don't think anybody needs more of is stress.
Yeah.
In this lifetime right now, I think if we can do as much as we can to not add self-inflicted stress on top of the stressors of the world and the stressors of money and the stressors of health and all of these things, then don't.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about our dance today. So, following with what we did with Joey's episode, we did the dance, and I think I'm going to keep this throughout the rest of the season, but we did the dance before the interview, and when we met up, you had 2 options. What was the first option you were thinking of? What was the more, like...
The one I showed you today?
Yeah.
It's called Casualty, actually by Mackenzie Ziegler, for any of my Dance Moms fans. She does release music, and some of it is...
that's what... Yeah.
Yeah.
You said her name, and I was like, that does sound familiar. Dance Moms hits it, yeah.
Yeah, Maddie Ziegler's little sister. She releases music, and I'm going to say some of it. I haven't listened to all of it, but what I've listened to, I do really enjoy. Casualty, Anatomy, Motives. Those are my top 3 songs.
Okay.
Take a gander.
Yeah. We what we then went with was Cat's Eye, which lovely group. Alphonse knows way more about them, so I'm gonna let him just kind of ramble a bit and tell you why he enjoys Cat's Eye and why we went with this song called Gnarly, which is a really fun song. Exactly. So tell the people about Cat's Eye.
So my friend Mika would describe it as brain rot. I am currently and have been suffering from cat's eye brain rot since around November of 2024. this chokehold has not let up. And as soon as I thought it was letting up, they released a gnarly. But no, I have always been a girl group boy. You rewind. Flashback 20 years when they dropped the Cheetah Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all, I'm still, to this day, amigas, cheetahs, friends for life. The rhythm in each other, that's what keeps us tight. Like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
It's the way that today I got off the boat and was talking to two friends. Just started quoting the Cheetah Girls.
Iconic.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I've always loved girl groups. You know, the Pussycat Dolls. We all know the Pussycat Dolls. You know, and they raised me.
Yeah. Okay.
They raised me. I loved them. Loved Fifth Harmony. Loved Little Mix. Like, I don't know. I was always such a big girl group person, right? And recently, I've been getting into K-pop. Just in general, it's like really fun. I love how intricate and clean and tight the choreography and the formations and transitions are, and the way that they dress and their performances. It's just like so good. It's also, I don't know if you know much about Korean culture, but like all men, for sure, I don't know if it's men and women, but all men are required to serve like 2 or 3 years in the military. And I recently, I think it was around February, me checking my watch, I recently, around February, March, was just on YouTube watching K-pop videos. I've been watching a lot of K-pop covers. There's a bunch of people that cover these dances, and it's just like
dances,
so much fun. Yeah. And there were videos, and I don't know if it was a competition or not, but a bunch of videos of these men in like military uniforms covering these K-pop dances. And it's like there were some men that you were like, that man went through a training and development program. Like he went through a T&D, which training and development, for anybody that doesn't know about K-pop, that's how they form their groups. They bring a group of young men or young women or both into a training and development program that can last from 1 to like 4 years. And then from there, they choose like, however, if it's a group of 6, they choose their 6 people from that T&D. It could be 6 out of 30.
Yeah.
And it would have been 30 people training together for years at a time, and then they choose 6. That's how BTS was formed, actually.
That's got to be a hard process.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Watch Popstar Academy on Netflix. That's how Cat's Eye was formed, actually.
Yeah.
But basically what Cat's Eye is a global girl group formed in the style of K-pop groups. So they brought 15 to 20 girls together for about 1.5 years, and they went on a training and development program, and then they did a survival TV show where they would release challenges, and people around the world voted for, you know, the girls that they thought really shined in the challenges, voted for the people that they thought, you know, were their favorites, all the things, and they really created a fandom. I also think this is great marketing, because it was like they dropped the documentary when they dropped Sis, which was Cat's Eye's first EP. Sis, Soft is Strong. Right?
Yeah. Cute.
Love them. I just love them, sorry. But they then, you know, went on to do a survival TV show. They went from 20 to like 16, and then 16 to like 14, and then 14 to 10, and then they had a top 10 finale, and then they chose the final 6 girls from there. And then the
You've
rest
seen the
has
whole
been history.
thing. Do you think they made the right choices? Like, obviously the group is there. Did you have favorites that you were like, oh, I wish she would have?
I did have favorites. I will say all of the girls that are in the group I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
But there was a girl named Lexi.
Lexi doesn't make? No, I'm kidding.
There was a girl named Lexi, and like, it's the way, there were some things that happened that she ended up leaving. And it's the way that if she didn't leave, I am convinced that she would have been in that group. And I think if she was in the group, because the girls are all pretty tall or on the taller end currently, and Lexi was a shorter girl, and I feel like if Lexi was in that group, the way that the group looks now would be very different.
Yeah.
There was a girl named Emily from Texas, who throughout the entire T&D was the best dancer. And like for her, it was more so a training and development of vocal training because baby girl couldn't sing at first, and by the end she had some cute little riffs. I was like, okay, Emily.
Yeah.
And then there was a girl named Ezrella. I just loved Ezrella. I do feel like I help me out here.
Connected,
No,
resonated.
yeah, but like I drift towards
you got it.
Yeah, you know, I feel like I find myself really enjoying, I guess.
Yep.
That's not what I'm
Yep.
trying to say, but people just in general, whether I'm meeting them in real life or whether I
Gravitate towards?
thank you. I gravitate towards people who have warm, sweet personalities and souls. I'm not like a big sarcastic person. I struggle with sarcasm, and I do my best because I'm surrounded by like a lot of very dry humor, sarcastic people, and I'm like, I'm keeping up. I'm keeping up.
Right. They don't hurt your feelings.
But I like, if there was anybody from that training and development program that I would like to meet, I would love to sit down with her and just be like, I adored you. I think she was the cutest thing. She was the sweetest thing. She was so kind. She was smart. She spoke like 4 languages. I mean,
Oh, wow.
a lot of the girls did because a lot of the girls weren't American, and people from other countries actually know how to educate their kids.
So, humble brag. We're both from America.
It's like, is that a brag?
No.
Humble drag.
Humble drag.
But yeah, no, all in all, they chose these 6 girls, and I think for this specific group, they were the 6 that needed to be in the group.
Fair enough.
Their dynamic is so good. They all look great together. They all dance great together. They all sound great together.
Speaking of dancing well together, like Cat's Eye, we made a really fun dance. Like, I'm loving the dance itself. Like, I feel like it's a dance that we could perform somewhere.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
There's definitely 2 takes, so who knows which one you are watching. We'll have to still decide, because one take Alfie loves more, one I love more, and you know what? We'll just meet in the middle somehow. Maybe I'll splice it where the video I like is doing the thing and the video you like is doing their thing. But yeah, man, like, it just kind of flowed really well. Alphonse and I just like let it roll. Like, it was a lot of collab.
Like an hour and a
today.
half.
Yeah.
Quick.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
Pretty quick. And a good amount of section too. Like, you throw an idea, I throw an idea. It was a great back and forth, a really fun collaborative. The ending though, which is really fun, great idea, is a bit of a remix, which I like. It's a remix of the choreo that we put in the middle of the dance. But kind of what you talk about your dance style is. It's very full out. It's very fun. We were both sweating a lot by the end of it.
There were like drops on the floor, and it was like a safety hazard.
Yeah, we're putting in that work, okay? So I'm really excited for you all to see that, because this dance, as all the dances have been, is awesome, but this dance is just like a different level of fierceness that I'm very excited for them to enjoy. So, again, thank you for the dance,
Yeah,
because
thank
it was
you.
so much fun.
It was
And
so much
I'm only here for a few more days on the ship, but I'm looking forward to dancing with you more and working with you more, even if it's outside of like some type of project or whatnot.
You got some heels?
On my feet. My natural heels. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I think
was
if you
good.
got
That was
me,
quick.
Thank you. If you got me into real heels, I'd twist my ankle. Like, it's not a case of like I don't want to try. It's like I don't know what heel. Like, the ship show heels is about as good as I can get.
Wait, you should try mine. What size shoe do you wear?
10 and a half.
Oh, you should try mine.
Well,
They're really supportive on the ankle.
okay. Well, catch me in medical after I try on these heels, and
I rebuke that.
I'm going to ask you more about this job. You've done the Untitled for a little bit now. Is this something that you would consider doing again? Is it something that you're leaning towards finding more work on land? Are you just really still in love with the ship life? I don't think I've asked people about what ship life is like yet, and I think you'd be a great person to kind of explain your experience throughout.
So I spent the month of January in New York. Just trying to scope out whether or not I wanted to move, because I've had a bunch of friends be like, look, let's get you in some voice lessons. I think you would do very well in New York. I think you should move to New York. I think you should come out. I think you should try to audition. And there were a couple of experiences while I was in New York that kind of made me feel a little bit more confident about my chances of success. Maybe not Broadway, nothing like that, but like at least getting, jobs there.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm in the mindset of like, I'm saving money on this contract to potentially move to New York next year.
Work, okay.
And try living in New York. The thing is I do love dancing on a cruise ship. Because going back to what I was saying earlier, so you get to meet so many people.
Yeah.
I love making friends. I love making new connections. I love making memories. I love making new experiences, whether it be with people that I'm working with, or there was a girl on our last voyage who I was, in one of the studios working on a combination, and a class was about to start. And she was like, go ahead and video it super quick if you want to. So then I got a video of what I had gotten done. And she was like, oh my gosh, that was so good. Like, super, super sweet. And then we had Scarlet Night that night. And she found me on the pool lip and was like, you were the guy that was dancing in the training camp today. And I was like, yes, I was. And she was like, oh my gosh. And she hopped up on the pool lip, and then we danced together. And then we saw each other every single day after that. And every interaction that we had with this complete stranger was so sweet and so, fulfilling. And it was, so kind and genuine. And it didn't feel like I'm telling this dancer that he's good because he's a dancer. And it didn't feel...
Yeah. Just a nice, genuine connection.
Yeah. And I love running into just people like that, you know? And I'm sure in places like New York, there's a lot of opportunity for that as well. There's also a lot of opportunity to get hate crimed, but
you're not wrong.
Well, my first time in New York, that's another story. It's
I'm already sorry for whatever happened.
I love the Untitled dance show party thing. It is such a unique kind of show. And I feel like whether it have been working at theme parks, or whether it have been working at cruise ships, or, proscenium style shows, I haven't had the opportunity to interact with audiences.
Oh, yeah.
And be in the space with them as much as I am in Untitled. And I love it. I love that I can be dancing this close to an audience member and be in their face, seeing their enjoyment or their surprise or and I'm a sneaky little guy, okay? I'm not super tall, and I like to maneuver around, and I also try not to move people out of the way. So because I'm not trying to move people out of the way, I just kind of appear, and it's always so fun for me to just I wear these 3 little buns in my head. Normally my hair would be braided. 3 little buns in my head looking like a brown Yoshi. And I'll just appear, and people are watching, and they're watching whatever's happening, and then they're like, "Ooh," and I'm just there like
You're
this.
living for that.
I love that.
Did you ever work in a haunted house?
I would love to. I have never gotten the opportunity to work in a haunted house. I accidentally broke a guy's hand in a haunted house.
Oh.
Because I didn't know that in the final room, it was actually, funnily enough, a haunted house that was done at the Catholic Church in my hometown. But he was underneath a table in the very last room, and he grabbed my ankle, and I picked my foot up and put it down.
Yeah.
And I stepped on his hand. I felt so bad.
I mean, why are you touching people?
But why are you grabbing me? I didn't sign no waivers.
Right. That's a whole different thing. He didn't even work there. He was just around.
He was 14 though.
So, child labor laws. Shout out to Louisiana. Very interesting place.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting things happening
Good
there.
music.
Good
Great
music.
food.
Great people.
Food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure. Well, speaking of great people, Alphonse, you're an amazing person. Where can people find you? What is your Instagrams? What is your socials?
I really only use Instagram, and my Instagram is just Alphonse Shine. Alphonse spelled with a PH and an E at the end. ALPHONSESHINE. That's me.
That felt like Raven.
It did.
Yeah,
In my head, I was like, "Yep, that's me."
And we talked a little bit about like you enjoying this job. But what is next for you? Where can people find you?
That is a good question, only because I am not even a full month into my contract.
How long will you be here?
Get off until October 29th.
There you go. Come aboard the Valiant Lady.
Come aboard the
before
Valiant Lady.
October 29th to see Alphonse in person. And maybe make a fun special connection with them and then dance on Scarlet Night.
Remember
and then,
my face.
Yeah.
I am always open to people coming up to me, talking to me. Always. Always. And if I'm not, I don't leave my room.
It's a duality. Yeah. You're like, is my battery on? Great.
Yeah. If not, then I'll be in my bed playing Pokemon Ultra Moon, trying to catch all the Ultra Beasts.
I was going to say, still plays Pokemon Go till this day.
I do.
Hardcore fan. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Thank you so much for joining.
Thank
you for being another amazing person on this.
You same.
And the dance was so much fun. And yeah, you're just a great person, Alphonse. I really do appreciate you coming on.
Same.
Well, everybody, thanks again for coming back to another episode. Once again, my name is Ty Nelson, your host. We want to give a huge thank you once again to Alphonse Shine for coming on. Another awesome episode, high energy dance. Please check it out. You're going to enjoy it. Now, whether you found some cool music within Cat's Eye, whether you found some inspiration in the episode, we hope that you've been inspired enough to hopefully go out on the dance floor. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Work. Thank you very much.
Word.
Appreciate you.
Booyah.
Ooh. Cutie. Cute.